back to my chair.
Welcome to our meeting of the Rotary Club of Naples. I'm very happy that you're all here to celebrate the success of our Learn to Earn program. My name is Paul Huber and I'll be your host today. First, I'd like to call Belinda, who is on our L2E committee and a success coach, to lead the pledge and invocation.
Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, I pray that all who are involved would use their skill wisely, feel themselves to be valued, and help the students in their care to learn and grow. I give thanks for those you have blessed with the gift of teaching and supervision and placed in positions of authority and responsibility in our schools across Collier County and the United States. I pray that you will touch the heart of those who are seeking assistance with the financial strain of their continued education and bless those who give to assist those students. I thank you for the people who are here today to use those gifts to care for others through the assistance they can provide. Amen.
Amen.
The pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may have a seat.
So Bruce, in the promo, did you just feel
Okay, I would like to introduce Rich Kirshner. Rich is the District 6960 District Governor. He served as District Grants Chair in 2014 to 2018. He has served on the District Finance Committee and is a past board member of S4TL. Rich also serves on the RILA Organizing Committee. Rich is a Rotary Leadership Institute discussion leader. Rich is past president of the Marion, Illinois Rotary Club from 1998 to 1999 and past president of the Rotary Club of Naples in 2013-2014. Rich has been recognized by his club as Rotarian of the Year, Four-Way Test Award, and Avenues of Service Award. Rich is a Paul Harris Fellow, Major Donor, Paul Harris Society member. He and his wife Nancy are Bequest Society members. Rich continues to serve as the board president of Meals of Hope. He has 29 years of Rotary service. Rich was born and raised in Bristol, Connecticut. He retired as a United Methodist minister, having served in churches in Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, Ohio, as well as Paducah, Kentucky, and Naples, Florida, where he was executive minister and associate at the First United Methodist Church from 2003 to 2014. In addition, Rich managed a family-owned retail memorial business in Southern Illinois with 14 offices, 2 manufacturing plants, and nearly 60 employees. He is a graduate of North Carolina Wesleyan College and pursued graduate theological studies at Methodist Theological School in Ohio and Vanderbilt Divinity School. Rich and Nancy are the proud parents of 2 children, Jeff of New Albany, Indiana, and Stephanie of Nashville, Tennessee. They have 1 grandchild, Will, now 16 years old. Nancy and Rich have been proud Rotary Youth Exchange host parents. Please welcome Rich Kirshner and his wife, Miss Nancy. Other local dignitaries present this afternoon are the following. Please stand when you hear your name. Kyle Hartman, Florida Southwestern University Director of Development. Ariel Pachokas, Assistant Director Adult Education, Collier County Public Schools. Jose Hernandez, Chief Operating Officer, Boys and Girls Club of Collier County. Carlos Artime, Director of Career and Technical Education. Susan McManus, President, Champions for Learning. Sandra Hempstead, past District Governor, Rotary District 6960. Wayne Hempstead, President, Rotary Club of Bonita Beach, Sunset. Thank you all for joining us today. And I would like to welcome all of our visiting Rotarians, snowbirds, and guests. We appreciate you coming today, and back to Paul.
Well, and to thank you and to thank everyone again for coming to our celebration today. What I'd like to start off really to just take a few minutes to quickly bring you up to speed on our evolution of the Learn to Earn program. So back in the spring of 2013, I was the president of this club. And it was my responsibility to award about $20,000 in scholarships to Naples High students. And I went to their scholarship night and did that. And most of the scholarships were for 1 year only, and really all of them went to students attending four-year universities. You know, we very rarely had any communication with the students once the funds were distributed. So while it felt really good to give out all that money on senior night at Naples High, we felt like something was missing from the club. So with the approval of the board of directors, Learn to Earn was founded in the spring of 2014. And our mission is to provide resources to Southwest Florida residents who have a financial need in seeking vocational, technical, occupational training, or an associate's degree. We want to support individuals to develop skills which will enable them to get a job once they graduate. We feel this is an obvious win for the students who may not have had an opportunity for something other than a minimum wage job. And it's a win for our community to have homegrown, skilled workers enter the workforce. So how big a win is this for our communities? So last week in our meeting here, we had Dr. Jerry Parrish, who is the chief economist and director of research for the Florida Chamber of Commerce Foundation. In his presentation to us, he stated that a person who obtains a certified nursing assistant certification, that's the lowest level, right, has a financial benefit to our economy of over $100,000. And that really struck us, like, wow. He went on to say someone who attains the next level up, an LPN certification, the impact goes to $200,000. And lastly, if someone that goes to the third level and obtains an RN certificate, the beneficial impact to our economy goes to over $400,000. And that really just struck us and us in our Learn to Earn committee and even in our club. It's just all the unseen benefits of having somebody working and living in our communities. So we are very confident that our Learn to Earn program is a much better use of our funds and has demonstrated a positive effect to our students and our community. So we're really excited to expand this program and keep it going for the benefit of the students and the benefit of our community here locally. So I'd like to recognize those folks who have put in countless hours into this program. Jim Scarts, you stand. He is the co-chair of our Learn to Earn program and has been the driving force of this program. Jim, thank you. Bruce Madison, who has been a longtime member of the executive committee of Learn to Earn and is responsible for recruiting and interviewing all our students. He's the reason we have folks come to us. Bruce, great job, and thank you for that. I would like to recognize, and if you're here, please stand, all of our Learn to Earn students. I know we have a few, if you please stand. All of our prep coaches, please stand. Our success coaches, please stand. And all those that serve on our Learn to Earn committees, please stand. Thank you. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to thank Adam Sparks. He's up here doing it again. He's a member of our committee for helping on many details, including the video we are about to view. Adam, thanks again for all your work. And let's take a look at our Learn to Earn video.
Club's decades-old scholarship efforts.
The students in two-year associate degree and/or career and technical training became the core of the Learn to Earn program. A key objective is to support students who are likely to live and work in Southwest Florida. The Rotary Club of Naples Learn to Earn Scholarship Program provides an opportunity for students to obtain certification or credentials to become immediately employable within our community, unburdened by student debt.
The scholarship has assisted me in many ways. It has helped me by being able to help with my first, second, and third semester. It's assisting me with, and it takes a load off of me having to work as many hours and being able to focus more on my studies.
I just lost my job about a month in or two after starting school, and I was in like a tight situation, and I was fortunate enough to get the scholarship and finish what I had to do.
A critical component of the Learn to Earn program is our Success Coach volunteers. These coaches help guide students through their education, training, and even employment networking upon completion of their program.
A Success Coach is paired with one of our Learn to Earn scholarship recipients. And the job of a Success Coach, or my job, has been to make sure that that student successfully enters school and then to make sure that they successfully graduate and complete the program.
So it's wonderful to have someone that you can talk about something and they actually understand what you're going through. Someone to guide you and just, it's like a guardian angel, pretty much. Someone to help you along the way.
Every student is a little bit different. They have different backgrounds. They are at different points in their life.
I was homeless, and I was working full time at the same time. So the money I was making with my job wasn't enough for me to, pay for school and pay for my rent and everything. So when the Rotary Club of Naples came in, that was a huge help. Because the money they gave me was a relief.
The shift in focus has allowed us to close the skilled work gap in Southwest Florida. The Rotary Club of Naples has been able to develop talent from students who have been underserved and overlooked. The Learn to Earn program provides individuals with skilled employment opportunities. This enables students to obtain employment who otherwise had been limited to entry-level minimum wage jobs, unable to survive, much less thrive, to obtain meaningful employment. It also provides licensed and skilled workers ready to work right here in our community. It's a win-win, and it's changing futures.
I want to become a doctor. Nursing is the first step on my ladder, so I'm going to do nursing first and then continue on to become a doctor, a medical doctor.
I got my first project is actually about to be built now. It's a duplex in, I believe, Fort Myers, which they're planning on making a series of them. So it's my first one. My name is on the drawings. I did the architectural drawings for them, so it's like a big deal for me. It's huge.
When I meet the students of the Learn to Earn program and hear their personal success stories, it really warms my soul. It's truly gratifying to be a part of the lives of so many young people and really to the success of our larger community as a whole.
This program went above and beyond for me, and I am also very proud of myself because the Learn to Earn scholarship in its entirety, it gave me as well not just the funds for school, but it gave me the ability to be proud of myself for earning the scholarship. And that's a really, really big deal, actually, to me. And it's so many thank yous, but I really appreciate it.
I've attended meetings for the Rotary Club of Naples where they were introducing the young Learn to Earn scholarship winners. If these students were not aware of it before, they realized at that moment that in addition to the scholarship and their personal success coach, they have the full support of many Naples community leaders and influencers.
Here's this wonderful opportunity for everyone to access. And it's just like a matter of people learning about it.
Learn to Earn helps scholarship recipients reach their full potential through technical, trade, and career development and education. We are committed to create a career and education culture for local residents who otherwise are underserved and overlooked. This is an investment in the economic growth and vitality of Southwest Florida. Working with community partners such as high schools, colleges, and career and technical training schools, The Learn to Earn Scholarship Program has awarded 10 to 15 scholarships each year since its inception. These graduates are now employed in Southwest Florida. Learn to Earn has a positive impact on the students and our community and is creating meaningful change lasting long into the future.
Every day when I get up and I put my Rotary pin on, this is one of the reasons why I'm so proud to be a Rotarian and so proud to be a part of our club and this program, is because I know what we're doing really makes a difference in changing someone's life.
That helped really saved me. Really saved me. I'm learning for I'm grateful to the Rotary Club of Naples.
So, and I would like to thank Mrs. Laverne Gaynor and the Norris Family Foundation through the Community Foundation of Collier County for the financial support to produce this video. We're going to get a lot of use of it, and that's really going to be our cornerstone to go out into the community to, one, raise funds, and two, recruit folks into our program. So thank you to them to make that possible. So all this has been really the appetizer of the day, just getting you ready. So our speakers and the folks coming up is really why we're here today. And so first, I have the pleasure of introducing Yolanda Flores. She is currently the Administrative Director of Post-Secondary Adult and Community Education for Collier County Public Schools at Lorenzo Walker Technical College. Yolanda has over 32 years of experience in working in educational settings. She has served on a variety of community and state initiatives that promote the importance of workplace education. Yolanda holds a master's degree in educational leadership from the University of South Florida and a Bachelor of Arts in Science and Social Science education from the University of Central Florida. Go Knights! Please welcome Yolanda.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Rotary Club of Naples, for inviting us today to this wonderful event celebrating the success that you've had with Learn to Earn. First of all, I know the Rotary Clubs like challenges, so instead of ending with a challenge, I am going to start with a challenge. How many of you have been to the campus of Lorenzo Walker Technical College? Wonderful. We're getting there. If I would have asked this question 5 years ago, it would have probably been about a fourth of you. So now I think we're over half. And so now for the rest of you that have not been to our campus, I challenge you that by the end of 2020, you make it a point to visit our school. Because when you visit our school and you see the students in action, that's where you'll get to see the full impact of the work that you're doing. So if you're interested, you can go to our website, lwtc.edu, and look up the tours. We have several throughout the months, day and evening. Or you can give me a call, or Belinda Williams, who is a club member, a call, and we'll be glad to personally take you out on a tour of our campus. So don't forget that challenge. So since 1974, Lorenzo Walker has been equipping Southwest Florida's workforce. And now you're making a difference in what you're doing with that. Our students, about 80% or so, come from backgrounds that need some sort of financial support in order to continue on with their education. But much more than that financial support, they sometimes need that social, emotional support. And I think that that's where your club really makes a difference. Because now, once I make it into school, I got the money, you've given me the money, I can go to school, but then what next? What happens when life gets in the way and all of a sudden my child care falls through the wayside? What happens if my car has a flat tire and I do not have enough money to get another tire? As success coaches, they step in and they provide guidance and help them identify those resources. Things that you and I might take for granted, but for our students that might not have had that type of support growing up, they're not familiar with. And that's really what makes the difference with the Learn to Earn program. that success coaching that you do for the students. Next, I kept hearing win, 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 win. And it's interesting because prior to coming up here, I had already written win, win. For those of you that know Dr. Leo Midavia, that's constantly what he says, right, Leo? Win, win. It is a win-win situation. It's a win-win for those students, because just think of the difference that you're making in their lives, and how what you're doing not only will change their lives, but the trajectory of those generations to come, because many of our students are first generation post-secondary ed, right? So you're impacting them, in turn, they're going to impact future generations. And then, yes, it is a win-win for our community, because it's not just a job, it is a career. And those students along the way can choose to drop in and drop out at different points. I think the example was provided earlier of someone can start off as a CNA, and in the healthcare world, that's the entry level into that arena. But that individual along the way might decide, you know what, I'm ready now to continue on and I want to become a licensed practical nurse. A career in a year, it takes about a year to complete that career. They go off to work at NCH or one of our local assisted living facilities or Physicians Regional, and then maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, they decide, you know what, I'm ready now to become a registered nurse. And they'll head on over to FSW, start on their registered nurse, hopefully complete it, and then might continue on down the road to Florida Gulf Coast University for their Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. So really, it's not just about a job, and it's just not about starting and ending with us, but it's about that career pathway and what they want to do along the way. Now, for those of you that are my age or older, you grew up in that era of VOTEC, and VOTEC was for those that couldn't, right? And we would all get tracked. You either go down the college route or you would go into the VOTEC route. We're fortunate to say that that is no longer the case today. Career and technical education is for everyone, and it's about helping individuals find their passion and what they want to do in life. Because once they've discovered that, guess what? They're going to be successful. When you think about the 27 programs that we offer at our school, all those programs, individuals have the potential to either continue on or to become business owners. So you're a CNA, well maybe down the road you want to own your own agency, right? You're an auto service tech, well maybe you start working at one of our local dealerships, but at some point you might want to own your own shop. Same thing with cosmetology. So think about that. It's about those that can. And so that's what you're doing. You're helping those that can and that want to make a difference in our community. So, let's see, did I cover all my points? I think I did. So anything else, when you walk away today, think about, we are career pathways for students, okay? Career pathways. And we work for all. Doesn't matter, okay? It's a good thing for all. But I'll end with that and I'll turn it over because I think you'll enjoy hearing more from our students. With me today are 2 of our Lorenzo Walker students. I have Anthony here, who's currently in our auto service tech program, and Aliki, who's in our cosmetology program. So come on up, guys. Thank you.
Before I start, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. I'd also like to thank Jehovah God for giving me a chance and also to get to know you wonderful people. Hello, my name is Anthony Parniston. I lived in Naples, Florida my whole entire life, and I was born premature. In school, learning didn't always come easy for me. Things were a little slower than other people's knowledge didn't come as fast as mine. And then later I found out I had a learning disability. So it's either I take it and I stick with that, or I take it and I do something with that, and then I continue on with my life. Then I decided to join into the automotive service program. I've always done little parts and other stuff on my car, and I always thought it was really interesting and cool to work on that. So the two benefits that I honestly personally think that are good in a world like this today is to, one, have hands-on training, and two, to get the amount of knowledge of knowing what you want to do in life. I will tell you to go to college and follow that route. But to me personally, I don't think that's the best, because then later on you become in debt. And also the amount of knowledge that you get from 0 to 100. So that's also just getting to know your trade and your field that. And the graduation date will be in summertime, 2021. I hope I can grow my mustache by then. The opportunities I have for this employment, maybe I want to work at a dealership for at least 2 years, either a Nissan or a small private shop. But then I also want to have my own shop maybe down in the future. I also know that with determination and grit will help me through my pathway throughout my course of this. I also like to give a very special thank you for the Learn to Earn program, and I'm also very honored for this scholarship. I also want to say, Stu, thank you. And Stu actually knows a lot about cars, so maybe I can learn from him along the road. And also I'd like to say, Mr. Ferguson, wherever you are, he was my principal a couple years back. I want to say thank you to him as well. So thank you guys for this.
Sorry, I'm short. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Aliki Pagalatos. I recently received a scholarship from the Rotary Club. Going back to this past August, at the beginning of the school year, I enrolled in cosmetology at Lorenzo Walker Technical College. At the time, I was under the impression that I would be able to get a Pell Grant from financial aid. Being under 25 and that I live here in Naples with my older sister by ourselves, the state will not give me any money for my college. According to the state of Florida, my parents and my family should fully be able to help me with paying for my tuition. What was not considered was that my mother actually recently passed away a year before starting school. At that point, I was trying to come to terms that this was just not going to happen for me. It wasn't possible for me to go to work, pay my bills, and also go to school. So I was fine with where I was as a preschool teacher, but that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to try to find a way to do what I loved, and I scraped together for all the money for my first semester, my books, and my uniforms. After that first semester, I had realized I can't leave without finishing this class. So now it was about paying for next semester and how I was going to stay in the class for the next 2 semesters to finish out and get my license in cosmetology. Thanks to my instructor, Luann Shaner, she guided me to different scholarships that Lorenzo Walker took part in, the Learn to Earn scholarship being one of them. And when I found out that I actually got the scholarship, it meant the absolute world to me. It meant that the struggle was over. I wasn't going to have to struggle for the next year and try to figure out how I would receive my license in cosmetology. My mom was a hairstylist, and so was her mother before her. This wasn't something I just automatically knew I was going to do. After high school, I took about a year off of school. That was the year my mom had passed away. I wasn't ready to do anything new. It took me about the entire year to realize that I grew up in salons. I grew up around doing people's hair and watching my mom do it and helping her mix colors, so I needed to do it for myself too. Getting to express myself through hair has been a dream of mine. I'm expected to graduate July 24th, 2020, And I would not have been able to say that and get this far without the Rotary Club, the Learn to Earn Scholarship, my success coach, Larry, and my instructor, Ms. Shaner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anthony Aliki. That was great. That's awesome stuff. That's exactly what we do. But Anthony, just one piece of advice. So you said that Stu knows cars and how to fix them, right?
I don't tell them.
Boats are a different story, right? So you'll have to get the story from him, but I think maybe he's sunk too. Our next speaker is Doran Oxender. He is the director of Immokalee Technical College. He recently opened a new branch campus of the college in Naples, focusing on manufacturing training. Doran holds a BS in Business Administration from Central Michigan University and a Master's of Education in Educational Leaderships from FGCU. So I go Eagles. So
Yeah, there you go.
he is also the current treasurer and past president of the Immokalee Rotary Club. Please welcome Doran. Doran.
Well, good afternoon, and just like Yolanda, I want to thank you very much for having us here today and share some of our stories. And seems like all things go back to Leo. Leo, where are you? You guys don't know this, but in 2006, Leo hired me to open the Immokalee Technical College. So my journey in this path starts with you, and thank you so much, sir. Let me know if you made a mistake. I do have to say that I am a Rotarian, and other than my home club of Immokalee, the Rotary Club of Naples is the coolest club in District 6960. Thanks for everything you guys do. The concept of Learn to Earn is simply amazing, and I can say that because I have 27 years of experience in career and technical education training and education, and 24 of those years were in Immokalee or at Immokalee in Florida. And what I think is so amazing, and Yolanda alluded to it, is the connection to recruiting students and setting a success coach up to help them along the way. So many of our students lack the financial resources, just like our cosmetology student just talked to today about those crazy gaps that come up in funding. You guys fill that need, then you provide a coach to go along the way to help that student, the phone call they can make, just to prop them up and let them find their dreams and make them come true. The cool thing about following Yolanda is she pretty much said everything I would say, so I'm not gonna beat the drum again. I think she did want to say, remember, everyone exits our technical colleges debt-free with job placements in the 90+ percentile. And that is a pretty serious thing. You mentioned our new branch campus. Many of the Rotarians here got a chance on their vocational day to go out and see the new Center for Manufacturing Excellence in Golden Gate City. Very excited. Little Immokalee Technical College now has a branch campus focusing on the manufacturing cluster. We're currently offering machining and a bunch of continuing ed programs. In the evening time, we will be adding advanced manufacturing, robotics, machining and repair in the future. So we're very excited about that going on here in town. But it's not about me today, it's about our students. And I want to introduce the podium falling apart. One of our students, Antonio Barbosa, who is in multimedia design. Antonio, welcome. Don't touch this.
Thank you, Mr. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Oxender, for that introduction. Good afternoon. My name is Antonio Barbosa, and I am a digital media multimedia student at Tech. It's an honor and pleasure for me to stand before you today. Being here is very meaningful to me, and I'd like to start by thanking you all for the support of me in the pursuit of my dreams. For as long as I can remember, I have always loved art. I was constantly doodling and creating in multiple mediums. I was good, but 3 years ago, I thought I could really become great at this, and starting art independently. It worked, but at the end of 2 years, I needed a change. That was when I found out about iTech and their multimedia digital media program. Being in a room full of fellow students, along with the continued support of my teacher, Omar Rodriguez, keeps me focused and looking forward to my days in class. I have been learning about videography, how to take professional photos, web design, and obtained certifications in the Adobe products Photoshop and Illustrator, and I'm working towards a certification in Adobe InDesign. Digital media is more than program knowledge. It is also having the right equipment, like powerful computers, high-resolution monitors, professional programs, and more. These tools are beautiful and exhilarating to work with. There is one problem with them, however, their cost. Even the fonts graphic designers use can cost up to $70 or more than that. The gift of the Learn to Earn Scholarship in the Rotary Club of Naples has meant so much to me. It paid for my tuition this semester, which freed up my money to purchase a professional Wacom Cintiq. A Cintiq is best described as a digital sheet of paper with a high-resolution display and touch sensitivity. It allows me to draw directly into the computer, enabling me to easily explore and share concepts with clients, making it easy for them to tell me how to make their visions a reality. Work more quickly and with greater versatility in the Adobe Suite, create rich illustrations, and even functions as a second monitor for whenever I need it. I use it all the time, and its value to me cannot be overstated. I am very excited about my future in digital media. There are so many opportunities to explore, and iTech is affording me a foundation of solid skills which will accompany me wherever I go. When I graduate in October, a path I'm considering is using my skills in the entertainment industry in animation and illustration, which will require further art education after I graduate from iTech. For the immediate future, I plan on seeking an internship at a company that will give me experience in the fields of my interest, and working in the graphic design field using my current skills, which will help me to further my digital media education. Helping me along the way is my success coach, Jason Gomez. Even before he was assigned to me as my success coach, Jason was helping me to apply for this scholarship. He informed my teacher of it so he could recommend me, gave me pointers on how to interview, and even helped me obtain a commission, designing a brochure for a security company. Always positive and encouraging, he's a pleasure to work with. Thank you, Jason. I would also like to thank Dr. Mausa for taking the time to interview me for this scholarship and for his assistance during the application process. He's a first-class example of the Rotary Club's friendliness and professionalism. I'm very grateful to the Rotary Club for the honor of being here. It is a great privilege to meet you and thank you in person for the Rotary Club's Learn to Earn Scholarship gift towards my iTech tuition. I hope I will exceed your expectations and someday be able to help others just as you have helped me.
Great job, Antonio. And a little side note, I don't think Jason's here, right? No, Jason. But just a little story is Jason is a member of the Immokalee Club, and so as a success coach, we tried. One of the goals is to branch this out to other areas, and Jason has done that. And as all things Rotary, he jumps in, and I think you said second year as a member, maybe?
Second, yeah. And
he's president-elect?
Our club's pretty small. We stuck him right in that route. So he's on his way to Pets, yes.
So he's president-elect. We were there for the meeting, and someone said the president was up, like, we need somebody. Jason, how about you? Good, done. All things Rotary. I love it. Next, I'd like to call up Kendra. We do want to thank the sponsors of our wine event who provide a significant portion of our Learn to Earn funding. Kendra.
Thank you, Paul. As Paul mentioned, every year we host the Rotary Club of Naples Food, Wine, and Beer Festival at Bayfront, which is the primary fundraising event for our club that funds all of the programs that we do. So as I reflect on last year's event, I'm always amazed at the sheer wonderful community we have in Naples, which we all know and we are all a part of. But when you have an event like that and you see it firsthand, it really humbles you. All of the food, wine, and beer is donated by Coastal, Southern Glaciers, all the restaurants that participate. They bring their own staffing in, so it's quite the undertaking and fiscal contribution that they give to us. So beyond that, we also have the sponsors, which provide fiscal and in-kind donations. So all of these things work together to make the event what it is, which is an awesome party if you've never been. So this past year, we had over 40 sponsors and restaurants, and I won't bore you with the entire list, but the main ones are listed here on the banners, and a full list is in the programs on your tables. So visit those restaurants, support those companies, because they make this Learn to Earn program work. Without it, I think Jim would have a lot more fundraising to do on the side. So it's a great contribution that they receive, the Learn to Earn program, from the event. So mark your calendars. Tentatively, it's December 5th for next year, and support those sponsors in your brochures. Thank you.
Kendra, thank you. And as you all know, the wine event is really a year-long project, and they do a really great job, and our sponsors. So yes, please support them if possible. A couple of other thank yous. We have, as you can kind of see, people walking around videotaping our meeting today. So they're from Lorenzo Walker, and it's Denarius, Edith, and Louise. So thanks very much for being here and doing this for us today. As well as, I think we have folks here from Guerrilla Media. So Guerrilla Media gave us a pretty big discount on the video and did just an awesome job. And I would like to thank them for their efforts and what they're doing. Thank you very much. And I'd like next, I'd like to call up District Governor Rich Kirstner and Dr. Bruce Mauser.
Well, this is a chance for Bruce and I to really thank you all for being here today and for hearing a little bit of the stories about the program that really germinated in 2013 and 2014 to what it is today. As District Governor, I've had the pleasure to speak to other clubs up and down our district, and for those of you who don't know, our district runs from almost up to St. Petersburg down to Marco Island and clear across the state to Clewiston. And we have engaged many of our clubs to begin to think about vocational training and vocational scholarships. Many of them were in the same position we are, and they are doing that to some extent by changing their mix of the young people that they serve. And I think that's a great thing that word has gotten out. I believe at an international convention a couple of years ago, our own John Smarge spoke to the Rotary world about what we're doing here. And last November in Atlanta, I got a chance to speak before the 32 districts that were represented that morning and talk clearly about Learn to Earn by telling the story of one of our earliest students who almost didn't make it until we helped out, and the gratitude that that young man had for us and saying how much it changed his life. But I told the Rotarians that morning, as much as we may have changed his life, he changed our life and the life of this club because of the one-on-one relationships we now have with these wonderful young people who make their homes down here in Southwest Florida. So I want to all of you who are students and part of this who've spoken today and others to let you know you're not just students that we care for, you're part of our Rotary family. And we want you to always know that you're always welcome with us, and we hope you'll join us as often as you can. One of the programs that we have used in order to support some of the students is a program called STARS, which is a scholarship that was put together and funded by the Florida legislature a number of years ago for at-risk students. And it's a chance for us to buy prepaid tuition plans for our students that are matched by the Florida legislature. And so that is one of the things we've begun to do to be smart about the funds that we receive and how we use them. These are a little bit different because they identify students a little bit earlier in the process. But we would more than happy to talk to you about that and see if ways of you as club members, you as community members can help us to afford to give more students the kind of help that they need. So I'm going to turn that over to Bruce now.
Thank you, District Governor Rich. Well, you've heard it, you've seen it. You've heard and seen the program. You've heard and seen the impact. You've heard and seen the volunteers. You've heard and seen the kids. There's nothing left to say. That's it. 6 to 7 years ago, as Paul and Rich indicated, when a few of us got together and said, what are we going to do? We had no idea that 6, 7 years later, this was going to be it. But this is only the start, and it's beginning to spiral because it's beginning to catch on. And we need some assistance, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. In my 50+ years of doing something in public education, I've been involved in a lot of student learning programs that have been very, very successful. But the ones I'm involved in today in my home community are the most satisfying I've ever been involved in. And that is the Learn to Earn program, Champions for Learning, and we also have a Buckeyes in Naples Foundation program. Those three absolutely are the most satisfying I've ever been involved in. 4 things I'd like for you to do. Number 1, you are now experts about the Learn to Earn program. Why? Because you know a whole lot more than anybody else does outside this building. Since you are now the experts, we want you to go to talk to other people. Let them know when the subject comes up about vocational career education, what's going on with Learn to Earn, what's going on at iTech, what's going on at Lorenzo. You now know more than most of the people that are around us, your friends. We need assistance in getting kids. I still call them kids. They're adults, all right? They're all over 18, but I still call them kids. We need assistance in getting some students. We need those connections. If you have the opportunity to go to different organizations or you know people in different organizations, let them know about the program. And if you say, I don't know enough about it, that's fine. Introduce them and send them to us. We'll talk about it. Number 2, we need some volunteers. This program has evolved to the situation where we have needs with all kinds of skills. We need people who are skilled in getting into schools. We need people with skills who are HR. We need people who are skilled in available resources. We need people who are skilled in technology. We need people who are skilled who can do something about developing an alumni program, about follow-up with some of our graduates. All of us as volunteers who are doing what we're doing to get kids into the program and through their program don't have time to do that. We need volunteers. We need some help. If you're a Rotary Club member, help us out. You're always welcome to come and help us with some of your skills. If you're not a Rotary Club member, join the International Rotary Fellowship. You now know what Rotary means. Join us as a Rotary member and get involved, not just with this program, but with a lot of other things Rotary does. Number 3, yes, we do need some financial assistance. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But if you take a look inside your programs, you'll find a little piece of paper. And that gives you an opportunity to make a donation now or sometime in the future, or hand this to somebody else to say, I would like to make a donation to help kids get a career and a vocation and end up being productive citizens. There are a couple of options. Number one, you can make a direct donation and help a kid, an average student. We spend about $2,500 a year per student per scholarship. Some programs are 2 years long, like the registered nursing program. Some programs are less. Some programs are 6 months long, but that's the average. There's also a possibility to be have an endowed scholarship. If you look on the back of your program, we would love to have you, your family, join us in either an endowed scholarship or a donation to help our students in Learn to Earn. Rich mentioned the STARS program. The STARS program, we identify students who are juniors, not adults, identify them as juniors, work with them through their senior year, and then the state matches the funds that are given through the STARS program. On your cards, there's an opportunity for a STARS donation.
Wood Kelly.
We have a student right now that's is Wood Kelly's not here.
Yep.
Is it Wood Kelly? Stand up, Wood Kelly. Wood Kelly Forville happens to be our STARS student who was identified last year, and he's our second STARS student actually, who's going to be attending school here come as soon as he graduates. Nice to have you here, Wood Kelly. All right, come up here and say something. We're flexible enough. We got enough time. We can do that, Wood Kelly. Come on. No, I know you're not brief. I know you enough. You're not brief. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you for having me here today. I'm very grateful. So, my name is Wood Kelly, just like it sounds, Forville, and I'm currently a senior at Golden Gate High School, and I was born and raised in Haiti for 15 years, and then I moved here on January 19, 2017. I still remember the day. And I was mesmerized by the country entirely. And then I got to my grandma's house. And then I started going to school, and then she told me about that program called Great Space. And then she wanted me to go. And then I looked at her, I said no. And then, but I decided in the future that I decided to go. I was like, okay, I gotta go, I gotta check this out. And then I checked it out. And it happened to be the best thing that ever happened to me. I really enjoyed it. I was a little shy. I was in the dark corner, always. And then somebody come talk to me, and then he said, be who you can be, but better. So I associated that word better with everything that I do, whether at school, outside of school, family, wherever I go. And then that's how Dr. Tim, back there, recognized me. And then he talked to me about that scholarship program that they doing, and then he selected me. I couldn't believe it, because by my junior year, I was started thinking about how I was gonna pay for college, because everybody keeps telling me to go to college. Go to college is one, paying for it is another one. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to say. And then you said, hey, yeah, we got a scholarship for you. And then I just looked. I didn't have any word to say. I'm so grateful. Hey, Dr. Tim. So, and that's how we ended up here. Thank you.
Another example, but again, the STARS program is just slightly variation of what our Learn to Earn regular program is, because the regular program is adults moving into something in a job. The STARS program, the students are identified as juniors, go through their senior year with some assistance, and then go on to school with the matching funds from the state. All right, point number 4. I'm back to point number 1. What do we need? We need every person in this room to become an ambassador partner with us. Become an ambassador partner with us in some way, shape, or form. Get the program out. Help us get some kids, help us get some funds, help us get some volunteers that we can continue to work and continue the success with the kids and the students that we have. That's it, folks.
Bruce, thanks so much for that. And Dr. Tim, thanks for bringing Wood Kelly to us, and also really for leading the STARS program. One of the difficult things is to identify kids that are juniors in this whole program, right? And he does a great job for that. This is flourishing because of you. Thank Dr. Tim. And lastly, I want to recognize those folks on the planning committee. They put in a lot of time and effort to get this done. So those on the planning committee, please stand up. Come on, guys. You guys did a great job, a lot of work. And you know how it is working for Jim. It's almost a 24/7 job. So thank you very much for that. So what a great meeting, what a great celebration. This is joyful stuff for us, and I'm glad you guys were all here to be a part of this. With that, please stand and recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, we say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.